Hello, ladies. So, this week's mini training is brought to you by boundaries. So, we are talking about boundaries today, and I know this isn't one of the many things that you guys wanted to learn about, but I think it's so important. So, I wanted to do this quick training for you guys on boundaries and why you need to have them in your business and why you need to have them in your business now, even if you're just starting, even if you feel like, you're not there yet and things like that. It is so crucial. I can't tell you how many business owners I talk to on a regular basis who are drowning in shoulds and drowning in to-dos because they have not set clear boundaries in their lives and in their business. And I know this is hard, especially as someone who is compassionate. And a lot of us, as coaches, like we just want to help people. We just want to serve people. We really want to come from a place of love and heart and soul. And that is beautiful and that is perfect and that is fine. And you can still do that with boundaries. So, one of the things is just very simply setting your boundaries within your work time. So this is something that I have been really, really, really passionate about over the last year because my first 2 years of business, I was, head down, hustling my butt off. I, lost relationships because of it. I stopped talking to people in my family. I stopped talking to friends. I was just so involved in my business that now, looking back, I feel like, wow, I really wish I would have had those boundaries before. I really wish that I would have had my me time. I really wish that I would have celebrated. I really wish that I would have, even set money aside for me to take care of myself. I mean, the whole reason that many of us start this business because of freedom, whether that's time freedom, whether that's doing whatever we want, whether that's money freedom, whether that's not having to work, deal with debt and things like that. So we really have to set these boundaries. So I'm going to talk about, one, two, probably three, maybe four major things in the next 8 minutes that I think you should have boundaries around in your business. So the first one is going to be how much and when you work on your business, okay? You do not have to be working 24/7. That is a myth. That is something that people are perpetuating out there. Just because you're not hustling 24/7 and you're not working 24/7 does not mean that you're not going to be successful. You just have to use your time wisely. And that's a lot of the stuff that I've been teaching you guys about productivity, day blocking, time blocking, all of that stuff. So as long as you're productive and as long as you're focused, you can get a lot more done than someone who's hustling 24/7, unfocused, just willy-nilly doing whatever the heck they want. So if you're super focused, you know the outcome, you know your goals, and you really put that forth, you can get a lot more done with a lot less hustle. So putting those boundaries around the times. Are you going to work on weekends? Are you going to work on nights? What if a client, has an emergency? How do you handle that? I really want you to think about how you're going to put these things in place in your business now, because like I said, maybe you're not busy yet and you're like, oh, maybe I'll take this client call on the weekend, or oh, maybe I'll take this client call at night. But really, you want to set that boundary now, because when you get busy, it's going to be hard to put that boundary in place after it's already not been there. So do it now. Your time, when you're going to work. Are you going to work on weekends? Your family time. So time boundaries is one of the things that I want you to define in your life and in your business. It's really, really going to be helpful. One of the things that I did right off the bat that helped me, because I didn't want to do it, right? I just went, oh, people are going to think whatever if I'm not working 24/7, if I don't answer this email right away. So one of the first things I did, and you can do, was to set an autoresponder on my email. So now when people get my email, I mean, if you've emailed me, you'll see that they get an autoresponder that says, I only work Monday through Friday, 10 to 5 p.m. If you're emailing me after 5 p.m. or if you're emailing me on the weekend, don't expect to hear from me for 24 hours. So really just putting that in place helped so much. It helped relieve the pain because I didn't have to tell anybody no. They were getting an automatic response that said, hey, Jen's not working right now. So that is one of my tips, and that is one of the things I want you to set boundaries around. The second thing is setting boundaries around what you do for your clients and how you deliver. Now, I am, an advocate of over delivery, like crazy, but you also want to have boundaries because you don't want to instill this codependency with your clients. You don't want to instill the fact that you're there for them 24/7 because you can't be, right? Especially if you're doing your time boundaries from the first step. So really understanding like what your limits are when it comes to clients, what your responsibility is, what are the things that you're going to give, how much of yourself are you going to give? Also, remember that you don't just have one client, right? Like you might now, but when you get busy, you might have 2 or 3 or 10 or 15 clients. So how are you going to manage that? How are you going to be in a place where it feels good for you to give to all of these people? So that is the other thing I want you to think about, your boundaries with clients. Can they text you? Can they reach out to you on Messenger? Are they allowed to email you at 10 o'clock and expect a response within 30 seconds? So really set those boundaries as well with your clients and set those expectations. And let me tell you something, your clients are not going to be mad at you. Your clients are going to see you as a leader for setting those boundaries in place. Now, when you have a client that's taking advantage and texting you all the time and expecting fast responses, and you will start to feel overwhelmed and drained by that. So set yourself forth as a leader by setting these boundaries, okay? Nobody's going to look at you and say, oh, this person's a bitch because they're setting boundaries for themselves. They're going to look at you as a leader. If you don't set those boundaries, they're going to look at you as a doormat. So this goes with every relationship probably in your life, but specifically with clients as well. So first one is your time boundaries. When are you going to work? When are you not going to work? What is that space you're going to give to yourself, to your clients, to your family? Number 2 is your client boundaries. What are you willing to give, and how much are you willing to give, and what are the expectations between client and coach? All right, so the third thing that I want to talk about when it comes to boundaries is really just knowing without a doubt the things that you are willing to do and not do in your business. So this is, again, something that I'm really, really passionate about because I feel that in the past I have done things that just didn't feel good. I felt like I had to do it, or it was expected of me. So I did it and I didn't really like it, and the results weren't really that stellar because of that. So always, always, always stand by the feel good philosophy and only do things in your business that feel good to you. Another little thing I want to say about this is it's okay to change your mind. So if you decided, hey, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do an event, or I'm going to run this program, and you decide this doesn't feel good anymore, you have the ability to change your mind. Your business, your rules. So your business, your rules, your life, your rules. You are allowed to change your mind, and do not do anything in your business that doesn't feel good, that isn't a hell yes, that isn't 100%, because it's going to show and people are going to feel that. So those are my tips for you around boundaries. I also would love to have a conversation about this. Please post in the comments. Where do you struggle with boundaries? Where are you struggling to say no? And let's talk it through. Let's see how we can solve this so that you are actually building and creating a life and a business that you love, that you enjoy, and that feels amazing. So like I said, in the comments below, I want to start a conversation. Let's talk about this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.